Okay, so my book finally got released. You can see the link on my website. And it's more like a raw spiritual memoir. But the first half, we get into the spiritual, no, it's not very spiritual. We get into the misadventures, right? Because this is the cycle, this is the stage that any entity that comes and incarnates in a human form, we have to experience this cycle. Now, some are going to experience it more intense than others, and some are going to look like they're more unconscious than others. For the certain beings, maybe their process is more subtle, but this is what's going to happen. We come here, we're unconscious for a while. Some of us are insane as hell. Yeah, I was more like that. And then we start to the spiritual tendencies in us start to awaken and activate, and then it's like we want to express our divine nature more. It's not a mental choice we make. It's just this is what happens. That's why I say, like, we can't control any of this. If you're acting insane and doing things and you're stuck in addictions and habits for a while, like, what are you going to do? Did you make yourself do it? You just kind of found yourself doing it, right? So then how can you just so easily say, okay, I'm not going to do it? Some may can, but even those who do, that's still grace that did it. It's not because you just made a very strong, mental decision and, yeah, I'm so strong. Hey, why can't you guys, stop? I stopped. They don't realize. You don't realize grace is running the whole show. Some of us were stuck in a pit of debauchery longer than others, and some we can kind of come out of it easier. Depends on our spiritual tendencies and how strong they are. Are we in an environment that cultivates that and reinforces them? What's our genetics like? Our nervous system and such. There's so many factors involved. But it's never a mental choice. The same with the people who say, just take your life back and think positive, and that's what I did, and I made $1 million. No, you're going to make $1 million regardless. That's your destiny, to make $1 million. Probably so that you can see the $1 million isn't going to do anything for you. Actually make you worse. Because there's others they're even more dedicated to the manifestation thoughts and the positive affirmations than you were, and they didn't make anything. Because that's not their destiny. They're learning their lessons via another way. But creation affords us the experience, like we're doing something here. Yeah, I'm doing something. Ooh, look what I did. And yeah, this is the process we have to go through. So I start to share about that and in my book. And it didn't even occur to me to even make a video like this. My friend gave me this suggestion. I was like, you know what, that might be a good idea. I was just gonna say, like I have in some of my other videos that I haven't uploaded yet, yeah, my book's out. All right. He says, maybe you should talk about it a little. I was like, oh yeah. I'm more of a proponent of attraction rather than promotion. It doesn't feel right. If somebody else does it, okay, promotes me or says, oh, he's good, okay. But myself, I don't know, man. So the first half of the book, or maybe, I don't know, 40%, the beginning, I get into the insanity part, right? Because you have to show, I didn't grow up in some Brahmin family, and my parents had a guru, and then they introduced me to the guru, and, he touched my forehead. I waked up my third eye, and then I was just like, oh, everything, peace and love, nothing exists. Yeah, that didn't happen. I was in trouble for a while, and I suffered with some very intense nervous system disorders growing up, and I was on a bunch of psychotropic drugs, and just things that I was too young to say, no, you see? So then finally, I said no. I was about 12 or something, and then I found marijuana. I'm like, oh, this is better. Made me laugh. But then I burnt out on that, and then I ended up, it was just crazy. Drove on a suspended license. Somebody asked me, why'd you go to jail? Yeah, I drove on I grew up in Florida. I grew up in Detroit, but I moved to Florida when I was 10, and then, Florida, they lock you up for anything. At least they did back then. And so I was driving on a suspended license. I didn't even know it. I violated my probation somehow, and they pulled me over. this cop was tailgating me, right? And I'm like, I think he wants to race or something. I'm like, bring it. And so I sped up. And next thing you know, the lights go on. I'm like, but you were making me go fast. He said, no, you shouldn't go fast. And then anyway, that's why I went to jail. So I talk about things like that, jail, rehab. I needed a rehab to quit smoking weed. I couldn't quit. Weed can be intense for some people, man. Some of you guys know, you've left comments. It can be, for some people, very hard to get off. And I'm a big proponent of Narcotics Anonymous or Marijuana Anonymous, if that's your case. I got introduced to that when I went to the rehab. So I went to the rehab, I quit that, but then I was still crazy though. Like the weed was helping to medicate me. I'm like, damn, I need medication. And so the insanity didn't stop there. And so I'm like, I need to join the military because I watched Rambo. I'm like, that's me. We both had gangs, and I'm like, yeah, I want to go to the military and do covert operations, save the girl. And yeah, that wasn't good. That was a bad career choice. And then got into selling cars, and then finally I'm like, this world sucks. I'm gonna join an ashram. So I went to the SRF ashram, Self-Realization Fellowship ashram in San Diego. I talk about that. Then I'm like, I don't like ashrams. I like to go do what I want to do. So I left, but I'm like, I need counsel. I still need guidance. So then I went, I need healing too. So then I went to Brazil and tried to find a healer. And then I'm like, I need spirituality. So then I went to India, looked for spirituality. Yeah, that's the last place on some level to find it. It's strange because everything's so merchandised. There's like a meditation shop on every corner, or a guru. Hey, come, and then people try to sell you their guru. They get a commission from the guru if they have you go to the guru because you're going to buy courses and classes from the guru. I mean, it's crazy, you know. I'm like, I'm leaving. But then I did find an authentic teacher, a non-commercial teacher, and so then we did some really good work together. But I still needed healing, and so then I got deep into Ayurveda, and then I went to Thailand and Bali and checked out a bunch of different like body work experts and holistic modalities, and then I went to China and I got a holistic. Man, this professor, surgeon, he's so way ahead of his time. He does surgery without anesthesia, without any. It's the true definition of holistic surgery, and he knocked some bone spurs loose from my neck because it was putting pressure on my nerve, and then just put a Band-Aid on afterwards. And I don't know if he's still alive, but anyway, I talk about that. That still wasn't enough, so then I'm like, I need to be a raw foodist. Right? So then I started eating all raw, and then I became fruitarian, then got deep into water fasting, dry fasting. That was look, all this is good. But there's no one magic fix. It's like a culmination of all these things, you know. I explain that too in the book. And so then I was like, I need something more. So then I found plant medicine. I was like, I really found it now. Did magic mushrooms, and I talk about that. Yeah, I was like, why didn't I do this years ago? And then I realized, I would have probably went crazy. So I explained that. Then ayahuasca and San Pedro, moved to South America to try that. After I experienced psychedelics for the first time via mushrooms, I'm like, I like this. This is medicine. So I went to South America, did that. And, so this is the book. And it's all underpinned with, it's like insanity, but underpinned with the realizations that came from that. So I wanted to give a little overview of the book. A big thing I learned, revelation, was even if my body was totally healed, if anybody's body's totally healed, or their mind, or let's fast forward another 4,000 years, and they have a machine, because now we've learned how to manipulate with life force, right? Because law of evolution. We've discovered laws, universal laws. See, the mind likes to take credit, thinks it created a law. It's like, no, you discovered the law. and you can lay in a machine and it can like stimulate your life force. Life force controls everything. If you had like, well, if you didn't have an arm, but you can manipulate your life force, and it could grow a new arm. It's like, it's not a big deal. It's a big deal when consciousness steps itself down in such limited expression, like this human form. Then it seems like a big deal. Like, wow, how do you do that? Yeah, because we're not on we're not in the higher stages of evolution yet. But let me make my point. So let's say there's a machine that can do all that. This was my realization, and just make you perfect. You go out and do crazy stuff, and you're like, okay, I've hurt myself because I did stupid things. Okay, let me lay in this machine. The rich people probably buy the machine. Yeah, okay, no, I'm cool. Here's the drawback, the negative side to that. You don't learn anything. Everything's all hunky-dory all the time. How are you gonna learn anything? This is the thing. My challenges have driven, I gotta ask my editor, he knows about that. It's raining. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up. These challenges have this was what's responsible for cracking open, you can say, this spirituality or realizations that are hiding deep inside everybody. These challenges. So if you get the machine, is that helping you? It's helping you on superficial level, but it's not helping you with the most important existential or eternal goal that you have. So that's what I'm trying to say. I had that realization. That helped me kind of make friends with these karmic limitations that I inherited somehow. This is important for those who can relate to that. And the book might help those who have already some resonance with what I'm sharing about that. Yeah, I drive that home more. All right, did I hit on everything? Yeah, it's good enough. So if you guys want to, if you're interested, because some people want to know, like, what happened, like, what did you do, like, what happened, what did you what did you do in your life? Okay, this is what I did. I wrote the book, so that I don't have to explain it now. You can read the book. So I put the website link in the video description box, and there you go. If you want to get it, you can get it. All right, good timing. I think I finished that, and I'm gonna get out of here before it rains. Mom gets worried about me. I'll see you.